3 days have passed in the blink of an eye. Xiaoxie has not been very happy in gambling these days. Because of the recent 6 monsters, the fort is very nervous, plus the black market killers, it can be said that the fort is full of soldiers. He was so panicked that he couldn't find anyone to chat with and play dice, and even Ahu couldn't accompany him. Clever, he had noticed that things were different, and things had changed in the fort. At this time, Wei Yaokan had already walked in from outside, and she said, "Brother Yang, I'm sorry I haven't come to see you for a few days, because I'm in a bad mood, please forgive me." As soon as Xiaoxie saw that someone was coming, he hurriedly took out the dice and looked like a hungry gambler. He said, "Big girl, fortunately, you came quickly, otherwise I will be bored with illness. Don't talk about it, it's not too late to talk about it after a sneak peek." As soon as he pulled the corner of Wei Yao's piano clothes, he was going to play dice. Wei Yaokan said with a smile, "Brother Yang, wait a minute, okay, I have something to ask you." Xiaoxie didn't play with the dice and said, "What's so urgent? Okay, just ask, I will tell you what I know." Wei Yaokan said, "Brother Yang, do you know the 6 monsters of the rivers and lakes?" Xiaoxie was a little disappointed, and when he asked these little questions, he exclaimed, "What are the 6 monsters, 7 monsters, and 18 monsters? I don't know any of them." Wei Yaokan said, "But they came to find your brother 5 days ago, and they also started with my father." Little Evil Chi said, "No, right, I can't know 2 or 3 people from outside the Guan, so there are 6 monsters looking for me." Wei Yaokan didn't pay attention to what he said, otherwise he would find out that Yang Daxi was Yang Xiaoxie himself. As soon as Wei Yaokan heard that the 6 monsters had nothing to do with Xiaoxie, she immediately complained, "I hate the one who holds the qin, he actually pulled down my silk scarf on the spot, which made me sad for several days. Thinking of him, I want to kill him." The little evil said, "Big girl, don't worry, I'll take out this grievance for you another day." He hoped that Wei Yaokan would finish asking quickly and play dice quickly. Wei Yaokan didn't know the little evil intentions. She already hated the 6 monsters to the core, so she had to find someone to vent this grievance. She said, "The martial arts of the 6 monsters are so high that even my father may not be able to get the advantage, and they also said that if your brother is really his friend's child, they will wash the flying dragon castle in blood and kill everyone." Xiaoxie said secretly, "Good girl, where do I have so many friends?" he said. "Then what did your father say?" Wei Yingqin said, "My father said that your brother fell into the snake pit and died." "Did he say it was the result of the siege?" "No, there is one more thing. 10 more masked men in black scarves came the night before, and they all died here." Xiao Ye was shocked and thought, this masked man must have been sent by Feng Gu and them, but this time the castle master must treat me as a clown, and there will be a lot of hardship now, he said. "Has your father talked about me recently?" Xiao Ye also thought that Wei Yuxuan would come as a black market killer, and thought that Xiao Ye had no backing, and treated him as a clown. Wei Yaokan said, "My father may let you go, because everyone said that you stayed, so many people came to find trouble, it is better to let you go." The little evil said, "It's so good, why don't I know?" "Okay. Let it go, come on, big girl, let's have a sneak peek. How about you win and let me tell you the biggest secret?" Wei Yaokan Kai said, "What's the secret? I was anxious to know." "I'll tell you if you win, and I won't tell you if you lose." Wei Yaokan knew the evil temper. She shouted, "Rape, gamble, gamble, I'll come first." She picked up the dice and threw it. It was 7. Xiaoxie also threw a 6, and he smiled and said nothing, needless to say that he deliberately wanted to tell the secret. Wei Yaokan smiled, "You lost. Tell me what the secret is." Xiaoxie smiled lightly, looked at Wei Yaokan for a long time and said, "My brother is not dead." Wei Yingqin froze when she heard it, and she said in disbelief, "You deceive people." Yang Xiaoxie smiled, "I didn't lie to you. If my brother died, would I stay here so happily and talk to you?" Wei Yaokan thought of the brother who died but laughed all day long. She couldn't help but believe that she had 7 points, and she didn't want Yang Xiaoxie to really die in the snake pit. She said, "Then where is he? You tell me, I'm going to find him." Xiaoxie smiled, don't worry, I'll engrave his address on the window when I go out. You can know at a glance. Your father is going to release me anyway." Wei Yaokan asked, "How do you know that your brother is not dead?" "Ha ha!" Xiaoxie laughed and said, "My brother and I were born in the same year, the same month, the same day, the same mother, and raised by the same old man. I don't know if you want to kill him. There is only one person in the world, that is, my old man is also his old man, otherwise he will die forever." When Wei Yaokan heard this, she clapped her hands and shouted, "Really? It's great. You go out to find him, but you have to say something nice for me, otherwise he will hate me to death." She finally believed that Xiaoxie was not dead, because she was at the age of fantasy, and the Yang Xie in front of her was full of evil kung fu. Her brother was like this, and her younger brother couldn't get there, so she believed it. Xiaoxie smiled and said, "Don't worry, I will definitely say the best thing in the world for you, so that he can drink old wine like a toad." Wei Yaokan said curiously, "What kind of toad drinks old wine?" Xiaoxie smiled, "Isn't like clam membrane intoxicated by drinking old wine. I want to make him intoxicated." Wei Yaokan smiled, "Then thank you, Brother Ding, but I can't find a gambling partner once you leave, and my brother can't, so it's so boring." Xiaoxie said, "This little meaning, if you feel bored after I leave, you can play with a who. If you can't do it, I'll see you sneak out. Let's go outside to Kala. Kala." He grabbed the dice and happily threw them into the bowl. As soon as Wei Yaokan had the instructions of the master, she immediately smiled and said, "Wow! Ha ha!" The two laughed at each other. Soon the little evil said, "It's time." "What time has come?" Wei Yaokan asked incomprehensibly. Xiao Evil laughed and said, "It's time for my dog meat." Wei Yaokan said with a smile, "You can really enjoy it. Okay, I'll get it for you. Anyway, I won't get it a few more times, and I won't have a chance to take it in the future." After speaking, she was already charming and swayed out of the prison. Xiaoxie's mood was also very chaotic. He thought, "I can't figure out this castle master's good deeds and bad deeds, but he hasn't done anything bad so far. As for me falling into the snake pit, I was beaten down after I demonstrated to them. I can't blame anyone, but why did they lock me up again? Yes, they are afraid that I will leak the news of Yang Xiaoxie's death, and they are afraid that my old man is a person with a great background, so they will imprison me under this fear, and the 6 monsters are making trouble," the castle owner thinks, Anyway, Yang Xiaoxie's death has spread and there is no need to hide it. If you kill me Yang Daxi again, it will really kill the wrong person, and it will also arouse my old man's dissatisfaction. These are a bit like decent style, but why did they kill the previous castle master? This should be regarded as good on the outside and evil on the inside, right? Only wait until they see Wei Yuxuan and then deceive him. Soon Wei Yaokan sent dog meat and wine, and they chatted for a while before Wei Yaokan left. Another day passed. Noon. Ahu looked ugly when he saw a stove enter the cell, and he didn't dare to speak to Yang Xiaoxie again, so he put down the stove and left. As soon as Xiaoxie saw the stove, he shouted, "Wow, wow! Forced confession, there is a fucking set, I have to move my muscles and bones, otherwise I won't be able to get up after jumping off the Yellow River." He started doing gymnastics. 1 2 3 4, 2 2 3 4. Soon the lord and the steward were in their cells. Xiaoxie didn't stop moving, he still kept jumping, his hands were also scratching and shaking. He smiled and said, "Baizai castle owner has something to ask." He didn't care, he didn't even look at the castle lord with a straight eye. The castle lord sneered and said, "Okay. Save me a lot of effort, I want to know who you are." Xiaoxie laughed and said, "You are really stupid, do you know you should ask me, what does Yang Xiaoxiao have to do with me, understand? That's what matters, hee." He practiced boxing facing the wall, as if the master was teaching his apprentice. The castle lord was right when he thought about it, and he asked, "Then what is the relationship between you and Yang Xiaoxie?" Xiaoxie nodded with satisfaction and said, "That's right, this is important, and then I'll tell you that I'm Yang Xiaoxie, so it's interesting to answer." The castle lord was shocked when he heard this. "You are Yang Xiaoxie?